This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news tonight, a primary school student remains in hospital after sustaining injuries in a traffic accident yesterday. The child was crossing the street when he was struck. While no charges have been filed as yet, traffic officials warn that motorists must exercise a greater degree of caution on the streets. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
Traffic officials say it was a troubling report that raised concern. A student of the Maurice Moore Primary School struck while in the area of Columbus Park, Freeport. Officer in charge of the Police Traffic Division, Assistant Superintendent of Police Kenwood Taylor, calling the incident unfortunate.
The Traffic Division responded and the EMS was contacted, where they found a 9-year-old student from Maurice Moore injured and being attended to by EMS personnel. He was taken to the Ron Memorial Hospital. I proceeded to the Ron Memorial Hospital, the emergency section, where I met with his parents and the child. The injuries were not life-threatening, but he is currently in hospital where they kept him in for observation purposes and for evaluation.
Taylor's urging motorists to be more vigilant when it comes to our youth and the road.
These school buses that are parked and letting off students, it's critical. From time to time, you'd have students, once they exit the bus, they can just run right into the street. So we want you to be mindful of it.
City manager of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Troy Mcintosh, says the rights of bus drivers as they transport precious cargo must be protected.
My concern is a lack of education. In the United States, those yellow buses have something that's a built-in safety mechanism. Once you stop, an arm comes out that says stop. It is mandatory that no vehicle should pass that car, and that's a built-in mechanism for safety because it has been a concern in the U.S. and other states as well. Well, one, the question I have is that arm being used on the bus? That's the first question. And then two, are the drivers to the level of understand that once that comes out what it means? And, there are mechanisms that could be put in place to ensure that is policed.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Now, the bus driver who witnessed yesterday's traffic accident says she has always been concerned about young students having to cross the streets when getting off the bus. She says it is a dangerous undertaking and is calling on fellow motorists to be more alert. Natalia Hall has this story.
It's a routine exercise Monday through Friday, morning and afternoon. Students are bused to school and then dropped off at various bus stops for a stroll back home. But some believe these students are placed in harm's way when crossing the streets for their journey to and from school. Bus driver Grace Maycock agrees. She says she is saddened by the mishap that left the Maurice Moore student injured and is calling for change.
I know people out here were saying, oh, this is a freaky accident. To me, it's not freaky. It's not freaky. That's a child. These are children. They always complain about let's do for the kids and our youths of the society. What are you doing in this to keep them safe? If you drive in a vehicle and the bus is stopped to let these kids off, why you keep moving?
Maycock says motorists must come to a complete stop when there's a school bus in the area.
Kids are coming off these buses. My school children are primary school children. They have one mindset, on the bus and off the bus. They're not looking for cars coming here and cars coming there. Like I always say, when we go to America, don't we stop when the school bus stop and we don't move until that school bus moves?
She is calling on the powers that be to intervene to help prevent situations like these.
I would like to see that they put something in place that when these buses come to a stop, these motorists would stop until these kids off and safely to where they got to go.
At last report, the 9-year-old student was listed in stable condition. Natalia Hall, ZNS Network News.
In other news, police are investigating an apparent murder over in Abaco. The badly burnt body of a man was discovered in bushes off the SC Boodle Highway shortly after 9 last night. Tonight, the authorities are looking for the public's assistance in locating the person or persons responsible for the man's death. Now, if you can help police with this investigation, you should contact the Marsh Harbor Police Station at 367-3437, 367-2560, the Central Detective Unit in Grand Bahama at 350-3107 through 12, 911-919, or your nearest police station. Meantime, police are arraigning a 24-year-old Bimini man today for a murder on that northern island. South Bimini resident Alfredo Russell appeared before Magistrate Charlton Smith and pled not guilty to charges of possession of an unlicensed firearm and possession of ammunition. Now, he was also charged with murder. He was not required to enter a plea on that charge, and that matter was adjourned to Monday, May 23rd, when it is expected to proceed by way of a voluntary bill of indictment. Russell was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until that time. Russell, a resident of Morgan's Drive, Bimini, is accused of the shooting death of 20-year-old Rodridge Ellisant. The victim's body was found in bushes in Allistown exactly 1 week ago. And police arresting 4 persons on drugs and ammunition charges. Around 8 o'clock last night, officers armed with a warrant went to a house in South Bahama area where they conducted a search and discovered, reportedly, they found a .38 pistol with 4 live rounds of ammunition, 1.45 live round of ammunition, and a small amount of suspected marijuana. 3 men and a female were arrested and taken into police custody. Investigations are continuing. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.